Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta. Today we are talking about this feud between Marlo and Kandi Burruss that is taking place now. As you guys know, there is allegedly supposed to be a big blow up between them later on in the season, you guys, that is yet to air. And maybe ratings will go up for that episode. But as of now, there is beef, and I don't know if this is like real beef or if this is beef to get people to tune into the show. But by Kandi's reaction, I think it might be real. I don't know. But as you guys know, the other day I uploaded a video regarding kind of a summary of some of the comments that Marlo made on Carlos King's podcast, in particular about Kandi and Kenya. But she really went in on Kandi. But I want to preface this by saying I don't feel like the interviewer correctly, addressed Marlo's quote directly, or maybe Kandi was already familiar with what was said and, had the following response. But I want to, provide some nuance. So basically, what Kandi is responding to is Marlo saying she didn't do anything for the community and everything else. However, what Marlo actually was saying is that she feels as though Kandi's whole identity, her whole purpose on this show at this point is just selling sex in some capacity, right? Whether it's the sex dungeon, whether it's the bachelorette party with Bolo, whether it is, this thing with the vibrating underwear and sending people over with like tassels on their chests and inappropriate clothing to these people's husbands and children's, making in-person deliveries for these invitations to New York City and everything else and the like, whether it's her dressing up as a madam at the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, that it's all revolved around sex. And basically Marlo, she was trying to say, why can't Kandi, you have all of these businesses, why can't you use your platform to discuss that, to discuss your process, to discuss, something else and feature that versus your whole storyline being in some capacity about sex? That's what she was saying. So let's listen to what Kandi's response to that is, and then I will give my reaction, you guys.
Like, when I tell you, literally just was like, oh yeah, girl. Even the food drives that I did in the past, who was the main one trying to show up to help? Her. And she want to act like she don't remember. Listen, I pay off college tuitions for people I don't even know.
Okay, Miss Kandi Burruss is giving back to the culture.
What? I put all my businesses in black communities so that I can bring more jobs to our community. What's she doing? And to be clear, of all people that I've helped, she should know. Because when she wasn't on this show and couldn't get on this show for years, who helped her get another show on another network? But she wanted to kiss ass and be a friend of the show again on this show, so she let the opportunity drop. But it's facts. I got her showing a whole nother network when she needed help. And she want to get over here and show her motherfucking ass. She's getting on my nerves.
Bloop. Well, there is that, you guys. There is Kandi Burruss' response. She is upset. When she starts getting the voice quivering, that she is like really upset. She is really feeling a certain type of way, you guys. So again, like I said, nobody is denying what Kandi has done for the community. Nobody is denying how Kandi has helped others and everything else and the like. I think, like I had said as I prefaced this video, was Marlo was speaking in terms of the show, that she feels as though Kandi has not been earning her check for the past several seasons, that she feels that Kandi's storylines are always revolving around sex and, the sex dungeon and everything else. And then she threw in there that Kandi bleeped, all of Atlanta in the quote, and just said all kinds of things, but basically said, why not use your platform to, maybe teach how to produce, or maybe teach about what's going on in your different business ventures versus just being out there in your face with the sex stuff. So that's really what Marlo was trying to say. She wasn't saying that Kandi does nothing for the culture, nothing for the community. I think she meant it in terms of what Kandi brings to the show as a whole. Like a what have you been doing for me lately type of thing for Real Housewives of Atlanta is what Marlo was speaking to. But with that being said, also for Kandi, I don't understand what it is with her. I don't understand. These people have talked so greasy about Kandi Burruss over the years, and she still gives these people chance after chance after chance after chance. And she was one of the main people who fought for Marlo to get a peach, you guys, because Nene and Kenya were against Marlo having a peach. So let that sink in. They already knew who Marlo was. So this is the same Marlo, you guys, that called Kandi a sugar mama. They said the only way she can get men is if she pays for them. That, basically she has to pay for guys to be with her, to, be seen with her. Marlo said that to Kandi. So why Kandi went to bat for Marlo to get a peach, I have no idea, you guys. I don't understand. Because if somebody said that to me, and then, of course, remember at the glamping trip where she told Kenya, I see why your mother doesn't fool with you, or your mother isn't in contact with you, or your mother wants nothing to do with you, or whatever she said. Why would you want somebody like that on the show to have a peach? Make it make sense, you guys. Make it make sense. And this is where, I kind of agree with Todd on how Kandi gives so many people who takes advantage of her chance after chance after chance because she somehow twists it up as them being loyal, but they're literally being messy. They're literally taking advantage of her. They're literally taking her kindness against her. And I just don't know what it is. I do not know what it is. You can help people. You can give back to the community. You can do all these things. But when you're talking about people who are in your circle or who've been a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise for several years, that have done you dirty, that have, went behind your back, that have backstabbed you, that have said, all kinds of crazy things about you, and you still give them opportunities, like at what point do we say, hey, I need to take accountability and I need to choose who I help out, within my inner circle a little bit more closely? When are we going to take that self-reflection? Because Marlo hasn't changed. That's the whole thing that I think people are missing. People are not tuning out because there's this new Marlo that's being unleashed on people and people can't handle it. This is the same Marlo for the past 10 years on the show, you guys, where she instigates conflict, where she says below the belt things about all of the women. And even with last season, when you saw her falling out with Portia, when they were thick as thieves at one point, you guys. What made Kenya and Kandi think that they were not next on the list? Especially with Portia not being on this season, you guys. What were they expecting? And all it does is it confirms that, like I said in another video, none of them had any intentions of bringing anything this season, you guys, which was also contributing to the delay because they were all hoping to ride the coattails and make the Portia and Simon situation their entire storyline, their focus for season 14, so they didn't have to tell you anything about what was really happening in their lives. But since all of that changed, since all of that had to be refocused and rejuvenated and bring in new peaches and everything else and the like, everybody's job's on the line. Everybody's contract's on the line that's like, hey, you need to bring something this season. Because the past few seasons, your storylines have revolved around one peach. But you need to give us something. And I don't know why they were expecting any different from Marlo. Whether she had a peach or not, this was always going to be her approach, was she was going to get after these women. She was going to get after these women, and she was going to hit the sensitive spots that she knows that is going to get a reaction out of them. She knows exactly what she's doing. But this whole thing of, feeling a certain way that I've helped her try to get her own show. I fought for her to have a peach and this and that. You keep fighting for somebody who is showing you exactly who they are, who is showing you exactly what they think of you. And you're choosing to still give them opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And now when they talk reckless again about you, now it's a problem, but they've been talking reckless about you for the past 10 years. Like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand what's not computing, you guys. If somebody shows you who you are the first time, believe them. Believe them. Marlo is an agent of chaos. She understands that the drama and the chaos is what brings different things to the show, but it's just such a hypocrisy because you guys made it a point to say that this season was so much lighter, that this was so much fresher, that it wasn't dark, it wasn't negative energy, but what do you guys call this? What do you guys call all of this sex stuff and putting all this stuff out there? What do you call all of this stuff of, again, we're back to, slut shaming each other and calling everybody but their government name at this point, saying that who slept with more people of Atlanta and who didn't, who has more clout and slept with celebrities and who didn't. Like, it's a whole thing. And it's like, okay, well, what's the difference of this compared to other seasons, you guys? What's the difference? The only difference is KANDI now is getting a lot more of the smoke from the other housewives that normally doesn't happen. You guys. But, Kenya has said in interviews that she wants Phaedra back and she's thrown her own little jabs. Sheree has thrown in her little jabs that KANDI has too much power at Bravo and that, they need to be making decisions that are best for the show, and she thinks Phaedra should be back and everything else. People are saying that they miss NeNe. Like, it's a whole hot mess, you guys. It's an entire hot mess. And it tells me everything I need to know that all this promo for the show, there's at least one question about NeNe, there's always a question about Phaedra, and there's always a question or some type of relation to something going on with Portia and everything else and the like. And people do not understand why people are tuning out. People are not understanding why 200,000 viewers decided to skip this last week's episode. But again, with KANDI, like, at what point are you going to draw a line and say, hey, this person has did X, Y, and Z to me. This person has talked greasy to me, to the public. This person has humiliated me on my own reality show, and I've continued to give them opportunities. I fought for them to have a peach. I fought for them to have their own show on a different network when nobody was checking for them. And they decided to turn it down because they wanted the exposure from Real Housewives of Atlanta. They felt that would be more lucrative for them. So it's very interesting to me that, now all of a sudden everybody's in their feelings and everybody's upset. But you guys knew what you were getting with Marlo. You knew exactly what you were getting with Marlo. And the irony in this is people always think it was NeNe that brought Marlo to the forefront. What people are forgetting is Phaedra actually is responsible. Phaedra actually is responsible, you guys. People forget that. People see the public friendship with NeNe and Marlo over the years and assume that it was NeNe. No, NeNe fought for Marlo to, get to go on these cast trips. She fought for Marlo to get a check. But Phaedra Parks is actually the person responsible for Marlo being on the show, you guys. So let that sink in. See how everything just comes back to Phaedra? It's all full circle, you guys. It is all full circle. All roads lead back to Phaedra. So there is that. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. What do you guys think of KANDI's reaction, you guys? When she gets to the lip quivering and her voice starts trembling, I'm like, oh no, Marlo hit a nerve. Marlo really has her pissed off and everything else. So this reunion, I think, is actually going to be interesting. I wasn't looking forward to the reunion at all, but we might actually have some content to talk about. But it's a hot mess, you guys. It is a hot mess. But again, you advocated for somebody to have a peach that nobody in your cast saw it for this person to have a peach. And now that they have the peach and they are using their peach to go after you, the same person that fought for them, like, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? Why were you expecting loyalty when she has never shown you loyalty? when she's shown you every single time that you've tried to help her, she moves in a different direction. So that would tell me I don't need to help this person anymore. If every time I try to help them, they take that opportunity and squander it, or they take that opportunity and use it against me. And so there is that. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. What do you guys think of this beef, this Kandi versus Marlo? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? Do you think we're going to get some interesting content on the reunion as a result of this? Please let me know in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post some content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.